Hello, folks. First day of July, meaning you know what time it is. It's time for some tier changes, and there's some big ones this time around because the whole home thing dropped. I don't know if y'all remember that big deal. A lot of Pokemon got added, so I'm gonna freestyle this video. We're just gonna start with the tier changes first because they're insane. First of all, the really only significant rise to OU, literally the only rise to OU actually, is Sandy Shocks, which kind of surprises me. It just barely snuck in at, wow, this is super grainy, geez. It just barely snuck in at number 41. So yeah, it basically just hit the cutoff, and it hit the cutoff because Sandy Shocks is a good screen support. It's a good photosynthesis user, and it's really strong and has good. It's a good pivoter. So yeah, go Sandy Shock list. Anyway, but as for the drops, because that's what's insane. Also, yeah, rises, whatever, not big deal. Except that Luxray raised a tier, which never happens out of untier, which is crazy. So, a lot of drops. I actually want to talk about the Pokemon that were in OU before, not the home ones, because I want to talk about the guys that were there and they just dropped. So, Slowking dropped in favor of Slowking Galar. We'll talk about that in a minute. Meowscarada dropped to UU. Durgicus dropped to UU. Who else? Oh, Breloom dropped to UU about fucking time, if you ask me. Severledge also dropped to UU. Again, I think it was about time it dropped to UU, to be honest. But yeah. In previous generations, also, Muck has been seen in OU. I think in Gen 7 it was OU. I could be wrong about that. I could be wrong. Zapdos Galar and Moltres Galar were both UUBL last generation. So was Thundurus Therian. And I have this feeling Thundurus Therian will be banned from UU because of Terra Ice. Just making it way over the top. Skeletor's dropping to UU is what really shocks me. Oh, yeah, Rillaboom was OU too, but it lost Grassy Glide, which is white too now. I think the biggest losers of this are Dirge, honestly, because I was not expecting to see Dirge here. I wasn't expecting to see the two Bascullegions Legions here either. Bascullegions Legions have a tough time, of course, because you can't use two Bascullegions Legions on the same team, and I'm betting. Let me see their usage stats combined. Bascullegion Legion and Bascullegion Legion F, yeah, they have almost the exact same usage rate, and if you combine their usage rate, they actually would have cleared OU by quite a bit, honestly. So it's a little, yeah, they're good in OU. Don't think that this means Bascullegion Legion isn't an OU Pokemon. It is. It 100% is. But by usage, it is down to UU because they do split the Pokemon up by gender. As you guys can see, Skeletor and Meowscarada actually just barely missed the cutoff. It wasn't even close. It was barely close. Cresselia also missed the cutoff. I have a feeling it didn't. It got a lot of usage because of the Magearna and Ursaluna Trick Room teams that started at the very beginning when Home very first released, and now those are kind of gone. So that's probably why it didn't end up making the cutoff. Lilligant and Hisuian actually surprised me that I almost made it. Enamorous Therian, that was another one that surprised me. Enamorous Therian had quite a bit of usage from what I saw, and a lot of teams were using it. It's a good Pokemon, good typing, good setup Pokemon. So I'm a little surprised that thing didn't make the cut. Arcanine wasn't that close at 3.391, and Severledge was just below it. Torkoal, actually, I need to talk about Torkoal because this is a Sun guy. Rain has finally taken back the crown of the Weather War, and yeah, there's literally no other Pokemon that are really even close except for Slowking. Slowking does count because it has Chilly Reception and it's actually a good weather setting move. But yeah, Sun is like not in OU anymore, which is crazy because there are still a lot of photosynthesis mons in OU. I don't know why this is so blurry. Actually, are there even... Oh, Great Tusk, of course, but Great Tusk rarely uses photosynthesis, to be honest. I don't know why this image is so blurry. I apologize, folks. We may never truly know why it was so blurry. Sandy Shocks now as well. Roaring Moon. I guess there was three. Three then? Yeah? Three? Four. Yeah, four. Wow, that really surprised me then that drop, but yeah, it is what it is. So, from what I've been told, if a Pokemon a Pokemon drop below UU, like for example, Avalugg has never been in an official tier before, so it dropped all the way to RU because it was like 1/15th of the 4.52% cutoff rate, I think. So that's why he dropped all the way to RU. Same with Delphox and Houndstone and Zaru. Zaru kind of surprised me. I think Zaru will go back to UU, but again, you just don't know this generation, right? I mean, power creep has been, I don't know if it's power creep or just meta with Terra is just completely different. So yeah. Other notable drops. I want to talk about UU RU. The Rain Geist dropped. Inteleon dropped. Orthworm continues to drop. Tauros Water dropped, which kind of surprised me. And they gave UU a rapid spinner, which that never happened. So congrats RU for getting one spinner. The Cetitan and Abomasnow continue to drop. Grimmsnarl's Fall from Grace is huge. This kind of surprised me though, because Grimmsnarl is pretty good in OU right now because it does set screens, and screens are very oppressive. Not as oppressive before the Volcarona ban, but yeah. Blissey in NU though is absolutely insane. Good lord, poor thing, poor thing. So yeah, yeah. I guess we'll just that's the teardrops. That's it. I don't want to go on too long, but yeah. I don't think that these Pokemon being in UU means they're not going to know you anymore. Like I said with the Basket Legions, and the stats prove this. The usage rate, if you combine the genders, they would have been cleared OU, no problem. So don't think Basket Legion is not good in OU, because it very much is so. Articuno is still good in OU. Arcanine is still a very good OU lead. Don't fall for the trap of funny 4 buttons in Choice Band or Choice Scarf. No, it's a good lead. Use a Sash, use Stealth Rocks, use Will-O-Wisp. It's a very good lead. I can't say much for Braviary or Braylon for that matter. Goodra, I don't know, it's kind of meh. Same with Muck, it's kind of meh. I need to use Regidrago. Dirge and Meowscarada are still good to OU, in my opinion. Don't think that this means they're not good to OU, because I still think they are very good to OU. I'm shocked. I'm absolutely shocked they dropped. But something I don't really care for is, if you look at the stats here, right? By usage percentage, yes, it dropped, right? Meowscarada and Skeletor did not clear the 4.52% cutoff rate, but Pokemon that were banned from the tier still count in the numbered usage rate. So I don't know. I don't know how to feel about that. I guess technically it's still below the cutoff, but like, I don't know. I feel like these Pokemon ended up taking the spots of Pokemon that should have still been there. So yeah. If you guys want to look at these, Don Bozo's still there. If you guys want to take a look at these stats, by the way, I'll link them down in the description below. So, okay. Yeah, let's just talk about the OU mons. How is the OU metagame shaping up? So, 41 mons in OU. It's a very small OU cast. It's actually less than 41 mons. It's actually 37 OU mons. That's probably the smallest OU cast we've seen in a while. Great Tusk is still the king, although it dropped a ton in percentage. It dropped like 16%. King Gambit dropped like 16% as well. Dragapult stocks are up. Samurai is on 1 in every 4 teams, which is absolutely insane. Ceaseless Edge is an amazing move. Iron Valiant still top 10. And Namorous is actually number 7 in the rankings, which does kind of surprise me. Slowking Galar, though, at number 8. Like I predicted, it totally took over Assault Vest Pegs. Like, you don't see Assault Vest Pegs anymore because Slowking's in the game. And Chilly Reception is just an amazing move on a Regenerator pivot who can also run an Assault Vest because it's very specially defensive. So, it makes sense. Caesar at number 11 and Zama at number 13. Landorus is only at number 14 now, which I honestly think it's going to keep dropping, but we'll see. Any other significant Pokemon here? Clodsire down to 13. Oh yeah, Iron Treads. Iron Treads is still in OU. We may never know how this thing is hanging on in OU, but it's pretty comfortably in OU now. Like, it was hanging on by a thread for like 2 months, and now it's like very comfortably in OU, which is hilarious to me. Hatterene is still in OU as well, which is cool to see. But yeah, Don Bozo is almost down to UU now. Garchomp, people thought Garchomp was going to drop to UU. I figured it probably wasn't, but yeah, pretty comfortably in OU still. Its specific usage rate was 5.22%. So it pretty comfortably cleared it, honestly. So yeah, that's OU. I'll be interested to see how I'm interested to see how this metagame shapes up. I think people are going to start talking about Kingambit though finally, which is a Pokemon I've think should have been talked about for a while now. But I mean, with home drop and there's been so many mons to talk about that I get that not being on the radar. So yeah, my takeaways. Oh, yeah, let me quickly talk about the lower tiers, or alternate tiers. Uber, Giratina O, which I think it's hilarious that it's almost 20% usage rate, because Finchinair was talking about maybe letting it try OU, but it's like one of the most used mons in Uber right now, which is hilarious to me. Other than that, though, don't really have much to say about the lower tiers, to be honest, other than this image is very blurry, and I apologize for that. Zoroark breaking top 10 and UU, that's pretty cool to see. So, yeah. Final takeaways. What are my final takeaways? Oh, final takeaways. Don't think the UU Pokemon are bad just because they're in UU now. They're still very good. They still have niches. They still have uses. Of course, a ton of them are just going to drop. A ton of them are going to drop to RU next generation. But don't think that them being here, it doesn't mean they're not good in OU, because, I mean, you guys can see the OU list. It's very competitive right now. It's a very concentrated metagame. But don't mistake that for thinking that Pokemon in the lower tiers that were just in OU, that were doing good in OU. All of a sudden, they just don't have a purpose, because they do. They definitely do. Other than that, though, I'll be interested to see what happens with Kingambit. Those are my two biggest takeaways. Let me know what you guys. Oh, Samurott, my boy. Yeah, of course I had to talk about Samurott. Samurott, I'm shocked that it's this used, but I mean, I've been thinking about making a video about Spikes versus Stealth Rock. I do remember there's a Blunder versus Pokemon debate about it. I was thinking about giving my own 2 cents, which is basically going to be the same thing they say. And it's why Spikes is so good compared to Stone Axe. So yeah, 3 takeaways. Samurai is doing. Kingambit needs to be talked about, in my opinion. I think it will. And don't think UU mons are bad in OU. So let me know what you guys think, though, down below. And yeah, anything I missed? Who do you think should have stayed in OU? Who do you think is going to rise up? Who do you think is going to be banned from UU? That's going to be the main question, right? Who's going to get banned from the UU tier? Also, I don't know what tier Pincurchin is in. If it's the same one as Raichu, though, it's going to be very good. But I believe Pincurchin is in PU, so I could be wrong. But yeah. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video, and have a good day. Peace.